JJ Barnes, and this is Jonathan McKinney.
Hello.
And this creature that is pulling me because of the squirrels again is Molly. So today we're going
Off she goes. Today we're going to talk about ensemble protagonism, which is where we talked before about the relationship between a protagonist and an antagonist, and we used Terminator 2 as an example because it's quite clear. One wants to kill the kid, one wants to save the kid.
Yeah. But today it's ensemble protagonism.
Yep.
And how to do it, and why you do it, and the traps to avoid.
Right. So what do you want to start with?
I think it's important to start with the fact that an ensemble cast is different from ensemble protagonism.
Right.
Because you can have a large cast of characters who are all involved to the story,
Yep.
but they aren't a protagonist
Yeah.
each.
Yeah.
Because they aren't leading the story. You aren't following their story specifically.
Right.
They are circling around your protagonist.
Yeah.
But ensemble protagonism is different.
Yeah, with ensemble protagonism, so some examples, we talk about The West Wing, Pulp Fiction, you name a couple.
Avengers.
Yeah, that's a classic, I suppose.
Of course it is.
I mean, we would talk about the first two Avengers movies more than Infinity War, because Infinity War is Thanos' story.
Yeah, definitely. But you have, West Wing is a great example.
Yeah, TV, is a good space for ensemble protagonism, because then your audience is able to
spend more time getting to know them and
yeah,
follow what
yeah.
it is they are driven by.
Yeah, you can track the different stories.
Yeah, I think films would be harder to do not impossible, as I said.
Not impossible,
but
the same
harder.
goes for your books.
Because you need to get to know all these characters and understand why they want and what they want.
Yes.
In a shorter space of time, which can be, you get a bitty story then.
Yeah, you can do.
If you don't do it well, if you don't really control the structure of it, you can end up getting lost and not sure what anybody wants, because there's so many people and so many stories.
Or you're racing too quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Through these events, you just mentioned Lost. I know you didn't mention the TV show, but The Word. Thinking of the TV show Lost, we've been doing the podcast about this, so we're up to about episode 7 or 8 as we film this. And one of the complaints I've had, it's only small really, because it's a really good television show.
Yeah.
But one of the complaints I have had is that sometimes you race too quickly through some of these short stories within an episode, because there isn't enough time, because you've got to go and see what everybody else on the island is doing.
Everybody else is equally important.
Yeah.
So even if you choose one episode to focus on your character,
Yeah.
a specific character, your other characters all still matter.
Yes.
Which is why I think West Wing nails it.
West Wing seasons 1 to 4 is incredible.
It's incredible.
For this thing.
Yeah, you care about every single character, and you care about every single story, even if they're not connected.
Yes.
You still care.
Oftentimes, one character will be prominent. Well, there she goes again. One character might well be prominent in your ensemble story, but
it'll move and change depending.
The other stories, while they might be thematically linked, are not necessarily centered around one person, right?
And one of the reasons I think a TV show is the most effective way is because you can build up slowly.
Yeah.
You can and this is where I think Lost gets it right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Because you slowly get to know the characters based on a single thing about them. You almost, we've said in the podcast, with Lost, you almost start getting to know them based on almost a stereotype.
Yeah.
You've got the one who doesn't speak English. You've got the fat guy. You've got the stuck-up snobby girl. You've got, you've got the hero.
You've got the cowboy.
Yeah. So even though obviously the characters are more in depth and they're more interesting than that, and they have got more going on than just that.
Yes.
As a way of understanding them, just on an instant, so when you see them, you know, oh, that's their personality.
You get something you can hook into.
Something you can hook into. So, and then once your characters are understood by your audience in a really basic way, then you can start growing it, and you can start bringing in more of their personality and more of their backstory and more of what it is they are as a character.
Yeah.
But you get to go in slowly.
Game of Thrones is obviously ensemble, and that was a series of books, as everybody knows, before it was a television show. So it can be done well in books.
It can.
And if you are writing a book and you want to use this, some of the benefits you'll get, the energy will be up.
Massively.
Because you won't have to spend, sometimes doing a deep dive on a character can feel slow.
Dog ate some grass.
You need to work either way, you need to work. But the benefits are you can have instant energy in your story.
You've got way more conflict in every single scene because everybody is equally driven, and it means you've got more going on.
Yeah.
It's more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, my style usually as a writer is to, even if I'm focusing on one character and it's not typically an ensemble story, is to have some extra interest in the characters around whichever character I'm focusing on the most. Sort of like Lost with the flashback style.
Me too. I mean, my most ensemble book was Emerald, Wren and the Coven of Seven.
Right.
So that
off she goes.
That's 7 almost protagonists, because that's 7 characters who are all important to the story and all driven.
Yeah.
But obviously you're focused specifically on Emerald, Wren.
Yeah, and you use a similar thing in that they've got a unique factor.
Yeah, they've all got
each.
something about them that you can understand.
Yeah.
But your focus is still on Emerald. She
really
is the
good point.
POV character.
Yeah, it's a really good point, because I remember when we were talking about your first couple of chapters of that book a long while back.
Yeah.
One of the things that you worked on was emphasizing some of those character traits straight away.
So that,
and the feedback you got was I was able to hook into those characters straight away.
Yes, exactly. Our proofreader was like, she was impressed that even though there was a lot of characters all introduced almost at the same time, she immediately knew who each one was.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when you reference the name Celeste or Tig, you knew who it was. You didn't have to try and work out which character it was, because they had an identity and a personality that you understood straight away.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's what I mean. Going in with small details as a way of introducing a big cast, and then growing it when they know the person, when they know them by sight if it's on screen, or by name if it's in a book. Give them something so when they see the name or the person, they identify who it is straight away, and then grow it. And I think that's how you have to do it.
An important trick when it comes to using that technique specifically is, if you write the story first, like write the book, you can edit the first chapter, the first few chapters.
Yeah, when you're
because
first
by that
writing
point,
it,
by that point, you will have discovered who these characters are too.
You don't have to
and you
obsess.
can emphasize
First draft, don't obsess about it.
If you do obsess first draft, you'll probably find yourself stunted, and you might not know why. You'll be like, I can't start this story. And it might be because subconsciously you're thinking, I don't know the characters and I'm supposed to give them a unique trait each. Those traits, they will come out as you write the story. And
then you go back, edit in something, just a note.
Yeah.
For instance, in as I say, in Emerald Wren, Celeste, she's a Christian. She's the only one of them who's religious. So very early on, I put the fact that when she's nervous, she holds her crucifix.
Right.
And it just immediately gives you something. Oh, she's a Christian.
She's a spiritual person.
So you can immediately, you see Celeste, and that's what you reckon. And then you get to know her more, and there's a lot more to the character, but that is something that they can hook onto. That is who she is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that is the way to do it. What do you think?
I think that's true, and I think ultimately always, every protagonist has to have an antagonist, whether it's themselves, they have internal conflict, whether it's a human being in their sphere that's out for the opposite, like in the Terminator, or whether it's the world at large, the society that you live in, nature. It can be any one of those things, and we'll get into those more as we go. But you want to make sure that
everybody has an opposite, effectively.
Yeah, something that is blocking them from getting the thing that in this story they are pursuing, and your story will function really nicely.
Yeah, I agree. So?
Yeah, there's probably a lot more we can say as usual, but we'll leave it there.
We can use more examples, which we'll do in more in depth in another video. But that is our intro, essentially, to writing ensemble protagonism.
Yes, indeed.
So, as always, thank you so much for watching our video and for tolerating my occasional disappearances.
Wow.
She's always so excited when we go through the park because of the squirrels.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
She's a crazy dog.
You can find us on Twitter. I'm Judy Ann Rose and he's John Merck. I'll put obviously the links.
Yep.
Either drop us a comment on here or go over onto Twitter and talk to us.
Yeah.
If you want us to talk about any ensemble films or books.
Yeah, we'll watch, even if we haven't seen it, we'll watch it and then we'll talk about it.
Or if you have any other writing questions, come and give them to us and we will do our best to answer as many or that we can.
Yep.
If you go to www.sirenstories.co.uk, you'll find examples of all our work over there. You can buy our books, listen to our podcasts we've referenced as well, What else? Oh, there's all sorts of things over there.
All sorts of things at sarahstories.co.uk.
Yes, so go there.
Yeah.
And if you could do us a massive favour, and we see it every video, but it matters every video, it's so cold.
Nice.
If you could give this video a thumbs up and then subscribe to our channel,
Yeah.
the more of that we get, the more we're able to do, and we are wanting to keep bringing you as much free writing advice as we can.
Yes, we are.
So yeah, that'd be great if you could do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you again soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.